Rocking. Audio check. How close do I need to be to my mic to sound real nice and groovy? I don't know. I need to. I gotta get something on here. Oh, wait. Didn't have a weight. Didn't have a weight. There we go. Another weight to sit behind this thing. All right, there we go. This mic. Okay. Oh my god. So, guess what I just found? What? I just got used to LazyVim. Okay, let's start this over again. This is a great video. What the hell? I saw DHH on the thumbnail for this video, and I'm like, okay, old Rails dev here. Saw DHH on the thumb. Was like, oh boy, what now? What now? Switched to Linux full time. I don't know. 4 years ago? It wasn't 5 years ago. 4 years ago? 3 years ago? Man, 3 or 4. However long I've been playing. How long has I been on that game? That feels like 4 years. 3 or 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Glad to see DHH figuring things out. Have no idea what this chaos chaos what this chaos will do to the Linux world. Right, but I'm here for the army of devs that will build tools in the Linux space because of it. Die to Mac and Windows. Yeah, I put a W on capital on that. To Mac and Windows. Die. Mac and Windows. Die. To Mac and Windows. Let's see. Now, if we can get a non-centralized replacement for GitHub, we'd be back onto something. As a dev community, as a whole. Also, I just got used to LazyVim. And now you're telling me about LazyVim. Oh my god. Oh my god. the hell? The hell? Let's start this over again. Wait, this is wild. Wait, go back.
Year is 2025, and when it's all said and done, we might finally be able to call it the year of the Linux desktop. Because if you're a developer, especially a smart, lazy developer, there's a new Linux distro in town designed just for you. A distro that'll finally let you tell your next Tinder date. I use Arch, by the way. It's called Omarchy, and it takes the unopinionated Arch and injects the superior opinions of legendary developer David Hannemeyer Hansen, DHH, a developer who's richer, better looking, and more talented than us. If you don't know who he is, he's most famous for developing the Ruby on Rails framework. As a former Ruby developer myself, this community religiously adheres to the MacBook Pro as the one true development machine. But Macs are expensive and riddled.
And we only cared about Mac. MC Mac fucked up, and that includes Mr. Apple, because we all moved to the Macs because Macs were Linux machines. That's why they were the only Linux machines that had the same development tools that front-end developers that were popular amongst front-end developers back in the late 90s, early noughts. Macromedia and Adobe, for those of you that are old like me, that's all we cared about. I know that because that's all I cared about. And back then Macs were built for professionals, but after Mr. Tim Apple took over and tried to turn these machines into just fucking Windows boxes, just making the machines physically look like the iPhone when it first came out, with the fat edges and the shiny screens. Man, this is garbage. It was going south ever since. Ingesting some caffeinated beverage here, but yeah, it was going south back then. So that was like what 2010 or whatever. Meanwhile, Linux was continually evolving. Now, today, oh, bruh, we don't need any of that dopey crap. There's no reason for us to be on a proprietary system at all. I moved over years ago. Glad DHH finally figured it out, especially since he was having problems with Apple famously a couple of years back. So that's really what started pushing him into this direction, and started noticing all of us who were already here before him. But I'm glad he figured it out, because now the religious crew the religious where's the thing with the people? Wait, where's that screenshot? Yes, there we go. Wait, here it is. Wait, now these people, yeah, that's gonna be an army of developers making tools for the Linux environment, the same way that they were making tools for the Mac back in the day, for Rails. So I'm happy to see this. I'm so happy. And quiet secret, there's already a ton of tools already built for the Mac around the Ruby on Rails ecosystem. And since the Mac is already a Unix device, it's not going to be difficult for them to convert those tools to pure Linux environment. Not going to be difficult at all. So yes, welcome, my brothers and sisters. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, now I gotta look up this nonsense. Okay, Omarchy, what the heck? It's some version of Arch, yeah, an opinionated Arch. Oh my god. What? It's by DHH? What? Beautiful, modern, and opinionated. It's an Arch distro by DHH? Are you kidding? Oh my god, I thought I saw that underneath here when he was showing this thing. Are you kidding? Welcome. Wait, I gotta go on LinkedIn. Wait, Oh my god. Okay, wait, pull this over here so I can do this mess. Oh my god. Are you kidding? Oh my god. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Wait, I gotta log in. Hold on. I gotta log in. Wait. Copy. Copy. I'm in. Copy. Copy, paste. Okay. I just saw. Wait. I I just saw this video. Okay, wait. I gotta at this dude at DHH. I have no wait. No, I don't care about no fracking company. Wait. Come here. Wait. Get over here. Can I DH? Wait. Oh, at D. Wait. DHH. Oh, come on. No, I don't care about a company named DHH. David. Oh, wait. How can I? David? Yeah. There we go. I just saw this video. Uh, I just saw this video. Wait. I just saw this video. Oh my god. Featuring Omarchy. Boink. Okay, there's the video. Omarchy. Bruh. Oh, so glad to see you moving to Linux. I moved years ago. Years ago. the wait. The only reason I was even on a Mac. Only reason I was even on a Mac. They were Unix machines. Because they were Unix. Because Mac. Because they were Unix. Because they were Unix machines. Oh my god. Back. I moved back. I moved to Mac back. Back in 2000. Back in 2000. I was moving Unix machines. That world. The Mac world. Linux. Want to be now. To be now. No need. There is nothing. There is nothing that I cannot find in Linux world. There is nothing that I cannot find in Linux world that I once could only find in Mac. So glad to see you figuring this out. Figuring this out. So figure this out. Bring your followers. So happy to see your army. Followers. So happy to see your army of followers. and the weight, the tools. For this part of the realm. Nothing that I can find. Linux world that I once could only find in Mac. Yo, Photoshop people. Yo, Photoshop people. Yo. Photoshop people. Take a look at Critter. Take a look at Critter. Oh, Figma people. Figma people. Take a look at Pinpot. May proprietary systems die. Take a look at Pinpot. So glad to see you figuring this out. Welcome. Welcome. So glad to see you figuring this out. So happy to see your army followers and await the tools that they would build for this part of the realm. Oh, just saw this video. I just saw this video. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is gold, bro. Oh my god. Just used to LazyVim in building out my own my own configuration. I found out about LazyVim. It's a LazyVim. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, this video. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. LazyVim. Oh my god. Oh my. I don't know, man. We're gonna. And it's been great. It's been. Oh my god. Oh my bad, Ricky. Oh my god. Oh, apologies for the. To reply. Oh. Part-time at please called Block, which was purchased by Thinkful. And then it got purchased by check. Check. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Check skills. To check skills. Fuck off. Check skills. Wait. I gotta talk to my buddy right here. Check skills. There we go. Check skills. Now I'll put this here on here. Talk to my buddy here. An old friend from a long time ago. Renamed it Check Skills. Whew. Okay. Whew. Whew. Did you follow that? Did you follow all that? Oh. Let's see. I've been working as a mentor slash teacher slash grader slash I guess almost QA consultant. I don't know what you want to call us. grader slash grader for and a few other hats. A few other hats for teaching new developers. We're teaching new developers full stack JavaScript, right? Full stack JS. Let's see. React slash Node. React slash Node. React Express Node. Yeah. Express Node. You know the deal. Express Node. And teaching slash mentoring has been enriching. Yeah, enriching, right? Enriching to my inner being. There we go. Yeah. Let's see. Inner being. Cool. However, now that whole deal is being replaced with AI at my company. I'm seeing a decided sharp, and this part I will keep private. So move this over here. Okay. Decided sharp. Let's see. In their ability to problems, right? It's oh yeah. So let's see. Building building out new project, and once it's done, I'll use it to the project, and once let's see, I'll add it. New project, and once it's done, I'll add it to my portfolio and get out here and look for full-time work. Again, we're in. Yep. Build out a new project when it's done. I'm running for full-time work again. Discovered a new. So that's what I'm up to. What I'm up to. The new system. It's this hard thing, yeah. So, building a new project, and once it's done, that's what I'm up to. Alright, I'm gonna hit that. Bing, alright. Alright, cool. Who is this person? Who's this soul? Oh, Capgemini. Who's John Swift? Senior React developer. Lead developer too with responsive. Expert for yeah. That has been a strong portfolio of UI work and solid experience. Yes, yeah, I'm a god on that. TypeScript, I'm new at though. Familiar with hooks, context API, context, yeah, lifecycle management, strong hands-on experience, CNET.net. Blah 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 blah. Familiar with Git, yes. Okay. Experience with unit testing. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I could interview for that, but I need to get this. I need to get this project finished. So. Lead assessments, JPEG, Indian recruitment, stakeholder management. Greetings. How are you? My name is blah 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 from blah blah blah. Looking for blah blah blah. Java. Okay, I'm not Java. All right. Build up my own configurator. And now I found out. I saw this video preaching. Oh my god. Welcome. Welcome. Yes. I got off that system. I got off that system back in 2008. Welcome. What's she saying? Wait. I'm posting this here because the algorithm probably buried it when it said the same thing over there. It doesn't sit right with me, these platforms. Yes. Welcome. Clap. Come here. Clap. Yep. Girl, I got off them things. I got off that evil back in 2008, I think. 2008. I think it was. Back in 2008, I think it was. Welcome. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world. Morpheus. Welcome to the real world. I got all that evil back in 2008. I think it was. Welcome to the real world. That's nonsense. Morpheus. Nope. Oh, I didn't mean to. Wait, no, undo. I didn't mean to delete that. Oh my God. Reactivate your free trial of retry for something. Free trial of what? What the heck? Retry for the grow your career faster with premium. Oh, grow my career. Oh my God, I have no idea. Just like, oh, it's disheartening. All right, look. Oh my god, this is hilarious. ThoughtWorks. Oh, ThoughtWorks? I wanted to work with ThoughtWorks a long time ago. Invited you to subscribe to Product Thinking. Manager of someplace. Who, where? Shipping? Who? I don't know that soul. Recruiter. So big community, local. Okay. Okay, a whole bunch of people. It's but really I want to. Okay. Oh, learn about free code camp. Free code camp. Free code camp. A whole bunch of free code camp stuff. Learn more about Node. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Cut that out. Okay. Let me finish this video. Okay.
Adheres to the MacBook Pro as the one true development machine. But Macs are expensive and riddled with proprietary software. What if there is a better free and open source way to use a computer? I just threw out my MacBook, and in today's video, we'll find out if Omarchy is the ultimate operating system for people who code. It is September 24th, 2025, and you're watching the Code Report. I think my mom must have taken Tylenol when she was pregnant because I use Windows for development, but it's time to grow up. The most important feature to consider when choosing a Linux distro is the logo, because that's what you'll be wearing on t-shirts and ultimately getting tattooed on your body. And I really like the Omarchy logo. It looks both dangerous and nerdy at the same time. To install it, all you have to do is download the ISO file to a USB stick, flash it with Balena Etcher, then install it to a hard drive on your PC. I'd recommend using a new SSD drive if possible, because Omarchy will do disk encryption by default and wipe everything from a previously used drive. From there, it'll take you through a pretty standard setup process, and then you'll end up on this nice looking desktop. It uses Hyperland as the window manager, which is a far superior Windows manager than Microsoft Windows. It'll automatically organize your windows in a beautiful way, so you'll no longer need multiple monitors just to develop a website. If you're not used to it though, at first it might feel unintuitive, because hey, there's no red X to close this window with my mouse, because everything here is optimized for the keyboard. Euthanize your mouse, then hit the super key plus space to bring up the app launcher. Unlike a regular Arch Linux system, you'll notice that this OS is packed with pre-installed software. That can be both a good and bad thing. Most people I know who use Arch do so because they want to control every byte on the system, and seeing all of this bloatware is making them throw up in their mouths right now. And if you're a DHH hater, you'll die of cringe.
DHH just canceled for RailsConf for your won't give keynote. Caden Live, yup. LibreOffice. Okay, hey, and right, of course, because this is DHH's distribution. This is great. Google Photos, welcome. Welcome, children. Welcome. Welcome to the real world. Oh, this is great. Local Send Media Player, NeoVim, right? OBS Studio. Come on, baby. Let's get it going. Okay. Alacrity. He's into Alacrity. I might have to mess with this now. There's going to be a whole bunch of plugins for that. Basecamp on this bad boy.
Mouse, then hit the super key plus space to bring up the app launcher. Unlike a regular Arch Linux system, you'll notice that this OS is packed with pre-installed software. That can be both a good and bad thing. Most people I know who use Arch do so because they want to control every byte on the system, and seeing all of this bloatware is making them throw up in their mouths right now. And if you're a DHH hater, you'll die of cringe when you see Basecamp and Hey pre-installed. But that's not the target audience. It seems like the idea behind Omarchy is to get developers to stop using Mac and Windows and start using Linux as a daily driver by providing everything you need out of the box. We of course have Git and Docker, Obsidian for Markdown, Pinata for image editing, and I'm even using the
Pinata? Wait, what the hell is Pinata? Wait, go back.
Start using Linux as a daily driver by providing everything you need out of the box. We of course have Git and Docker, Obsidian for Markdown, Pinata for image.
Pinata? What the hell is Pinata? Okay, I gotta go look that. I never even knew about that. What the hell is Pinata? Oh my god. Oh, this is giving me so much joy right now. What the hell is Pinata? Yeah, Popular Ops, Obsidian. Ah, okay. Pinata. How do you spell Pinata? Pinata. Wait, how do you spell Pinata? Okay, wait. Pinata. Okay, that's not how you spell it. Pinya. Pinata. 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 Okay, now, all right. So let's go look for this. Let's see, pinata. 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 Oh, okay. I might have to go hunt for this in false. Oops, false. Pinata. Tell me about pinata. False pinata. No. False. Here. False news. It's false. False. Come on. Boop, 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 boop. Search. Okay. Who is pinata? Futz off, bro. Wait. Vimium? Bug off. Am I looking at the right thing? Pinata. Oh, bro. Pinata. Do they spell it differently? What is this? Pinata. Pinata. Pinata for image editing. Pinata. Okay, wait. Okay, oh, ask that question. Image editing. Image editor. Pinata? Oh, God. Alfreda? Wait. No. Boy, what? Photor? Pinata. Pinata project. Painting made simple. Painting made simple. What is this? Pinata or penta? Wait, pinata or... Oh, that's it. Boy, this ain't pinata. This is penta. It's penta. Pinata. Boy, it's penta, not pinata. What the hell are you talking about? Painting made simple. Explore the code. Nah, I'm going with Krita. But Penta is a free open source program for drawing, image editing. It combines intuitive tools and features, making it easy to create blah 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 blah. Smooth workflow. Blah 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 blah. Familiar interface. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Powerful quick effects. Yada yada yada. Unlimited undo. Why choose Penta? Paint, enhance, create without limits, blah, 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 blah. Try this now. Blah, 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 blah. Site designed by this soul. Penta. Never heard of Penta. Okay. Experience Penta. At least, okay. Is it faster to pop open when you're doing simple stuff? Right now, though, I've got layers and all that good stuff in Krita. So I'm gonna go, digital painting, photo editing, pixel art. Try this now. Da 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 da. Tutorials. This is about to blow up though. What with all of them on it? Do something. Penta. Images, history, layers. We have layers. Okay, so you took a picture of the desktop. That was so loud. Like, there's no other sound except for that loud sound of taking a picture of the desktop. Okay. We don't get clicks. Right, you're doing stuff. I said background, layers. That's about to become, everything on here is about to become a staple of web development amongst Rails developers. I'm about to get in this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. This is glorious. Oh my god. I love it. I love it. Oh god. Okay. Simple basic stuff. This could switch at any time in the future, but layers. I don't know how, is this. I would like to do a comparison between Penta and Krita. What's this? Critter, Penta, Pinpot, family people, Pinpot. Welcome, children. Welcome. Drawing, editing, oh, you know, I need some background music. Come on, let's get this going. A little background music. There we go. They have no music, but I got music. Let's see. Oh, I should probably, just in case somebody comes by and says hello. It happens. It happens. Oh. Let's get it. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. Okay. We got some layers. We got some basic stuff going on here. I'm not playing that because of the sexual connotation of the name. Like, but Critter is dope. IP, I don't know what that is. Best and worst free drawing thingies.
I tried all these free drawing apps, so you.
Oh, I like what they got going on here. I like this. This is dope. Can I make a version of me for this?
You don't have to. Then I rated them on a tier list based on how good they would be for someone starting out with digital art.
Hold on.
But even if you've been trying digital art for a while, you might want to try out something different. But there are so many options to choose from. So let me break down what I think about them. We'll try Krita first, how about? This is literally my very first time opening Krita, so I have no idea what to expect. Okay, I'm gonna test a couple of brushes now. Oh, I love this brush. Okay, so the default brushes, I like them, 10 out of 10. So what does the liquefy brush look like? Oh, there it is. I mean, it's not great, but I think it does the job, right? Okay, we have a lasso tool, except I don't know how to make it work. How do I... Maybe I transform it and then move it. Transform tool. I guess that works. So Krita seems to be a perfectly competent little app. After changing a few hotkeys, I'm up in sketching already, so I don't mind this. If I press Ctrl plus Enter, I get a command palette of all Krita actions. Let me try. Oh! Oh, that is everything. Oh, I like this! Oh, this is just like a programming IDE. Gaussian blur. Oh, shoot! Wait, I love that! Wait, that's so cool! This is apparently free! So my overall impression of Krita, this is heavy software, okay? There's a lot going on.
Krita was created by artists who learned how to program. And they got tired of Adobe, so that was their whole thing. That's why I'm into Krita.
Krita has a lot of really cool brushes. In the default brush feel, it wins a lot. Like, I'd say this is like a 10 out of 10. It has so many brushes to mess around with, just default brushes. It basically had all of the features I expected for Krita. Like, if we go through here, Krita had layers, it had liquefy, it had lasso tool, transform, all these things. It had everything. Fantastic, okay? I'd say it's not the most intuitive software to begin with. It's very powerful. It can do a lot, but also it kind of lacks identity. It's kind of going in all directions. It can do a lot of things, and you're unlikely to use every single feature. The learning curve is, yeah, a little bit steeper than you'd expect, but at least it has this. So here is the wildcard feature for Krita for me. It has a command selector. If you forgot how to do something like, oh, what do I do? You could just Gaussian blur if you don't remember what it is. Oh, Gaussian blur, easy peasy. And oh, it has a really cool colorize feature as well, where instead of having to fill in flats very laboriously, you can just do something like this, scribble in the colors, and it fills it in for you. Very cool. So I would put Krita, you know what? We're starting pretty strong here, honestly. Yeah. I'm reluctant to give Krita like S right away, but dang, I would say Krita's a really good choice to get started with. All right, next up we have Metabang.
Never heard of this one.
Let's see what kind of brushes we have. Let's take a look here. So we have, like, you know, you can control your brush like this. That's pretty cool. Pencil. Pencil.
I gotta build that.
My initial impressions is that the brushes don't seem to be as nice as the ones in Krita right away. Sumi.
Welcome.
Ooh, this is a cute pen. I like this one a lot.
Wait,
Okay, we have a textured watercolor brush too. So
pause. Wait.
Omarchy is a modern Linux distribution.
Nope, go back. Go back.
Built on top of Arch Linux and Hyperland.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Bro, you will not remember me, but we met in Chicago way back in the day. Oh my God. Oh my God. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bro. You will not remember me. But we met years ago in Chicago with Neil. Like Chicago with Neil. God, 20, almost 20 years ago, bro. What was the name of that madness? What did we do with Neil? Code Academy? Yeah. Neil and Code, oh my God, and his, was it Code Academy? It's Code Academy. It's Neil and Code Academy. Brother. Code Brother. Let's see, Code Brother. Code Brother. I moved to Linux years ago. Got tired of the Mac. got tired of the Mac. Got tired of the Mac. Tired of the Mac. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my God. Oh, welcome, 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 welcome. You'll know. Neil, his Code Academy. I almost call you Code Big Brother. Let's Code Big Brother. I was years ago. Got tired of the Mac. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to see this. So glad to see this. Oh, see this. Excited for the tools and development that will take place because of it. Because of it. Oh my God. I don't even know if I need to mention that. I probably don't even need to mention that. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Code Brother, maybe I'll delete that. Doesn't matter. Brother, Code Brother. I moved to Linux years ago. Got tired of the Mac. I'm glad to see that. Excited for the tools and development that will take place in this space. Because of it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wait, August 26th? Wait. It was just last month. Oh my god. Oh, wait, let me finish his video and then let me get on with this.
Editing,
Oh my
and I'm even
God.
using the pre-installed OBS Studio for screen recording. And when it comes to the terminal, you have a bunch of modern shell tools like FZF for fuzzy finding, ripgrep to replace grep, zoxide to replace CD, and a bunch of other hipstery tools to replace what you would normally find on a GNU Linux distro. And it even has its own custom shell functions to do things like image conversions. If you're writing code though, the big question is where will you write that code? Well, obviously not VS Code. A keyboard-focused distro like this could only use NeoVim. But like Arch, NeoVim is notorious for its configuration nightmares. But here, it's using the LazyVim config, a pre-configured version that gives you all the power of a modern IDE while remaining highly customizable. But if you're truly a lazy developer, you'll need some AI to write your code. Well, Arch has a massive package ecosystem through Pacman and the Arch user repository. Your code. Well, Arch has a massive package ecosystem through Pacman and the Arch user repository, and we can easily install new stuff by hitting Super Alt Space. Find your favorite.
This is gonna be a trip because Arch is now going to be the default in Rails development world. This is wonderful. Oh, I love it. Yes.
AI package like Claude Code and install it. It's really that easy, even easier than a Mac or Windows machine. And that's coming from a Tylenol baby. Pretty cool, but is Omarchy right for you?
Tylenol, baby.
Well, if you're already an Arch Linux GigaChad, you're going to hate this thing. It's way too opinionated, but that's the idea. If you already hate DHH, then you're going to hate it. And if you hate memorizing keyboard shortcuts for everything, you might hate it. But that shouldn't discourage you from using Linux. Also try out distros like Bluefin, which comes pre-configured with VS Code and dev containers. Ultimately though, Omarchy feels like a great new gateway drug to get people hooked on Linux without all the pain and suffering it takes to configure a fully loaded system. But speaking of the terminal, another tool you need to know about is CodeRabbit, the sponsor of today's video. They just launched the CodeRabbit CLI to give you senior level code reviews right in your terminal. That means if you're using a CLI based coding agent like Claude Code, you can just install CodeRabbit once, then ask Claude to run it whenever you want feedback on your uncommitted changes or specific files.
Hold on. Now, okay, that's enough of that. Now I gotta get into this.
The tiling window manager to create an absolutely gorgeous and fast system. Primarily for developers or anyone interested in a pro system that takes a little time to learn and to set up, but that will pay dividends in terms of speed of use, in terms of fluidity, in terms of simply enjoying your system like nothing else. I came from the Mac. I've tried to bring over the best of that world, combine it with the best of the Linux world, and come up with just something new that taps into all the exciting stuff that's been going on in Linux subcultures for quite a while now. Omarchy looks like nothing else. Unless you've been browsing the Unix porn forums on Reddit, this is a truly new and unique system for anyone who's been used to commercial operating systems or mainstream Linux distributions like Ubuntu or Fedora. So let me take you for a ride. Let me show you how Omarchy works, and I think you're going to like it. So this is how Omarchy greets you when you've just started up your new installation. As you can see, it is quite bare. There are no icons to click on. There are no files on the desktop. There's just a beautiful backdrop to the Tokyo Night default theme. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how to start a terminal. So that is super enter. That simply pops up the terminal for you right here. We can do an LS. It has a nice little starship prompt.
Because we stay in the terminal.
So if I hop in and out of directories, I get the little prompt here going. And if I hop into Omarchy, for example, you can see it even shows you the GitHub status. But if I open a browser here on Super B, you'll see that the magic of tiling window managers, it just slides in on the right. And if I hold down Super Shift and I push the arrow key, I can send them back and forth. If I hold down Super J, then I can switch them vertically or horizontally. And of course, I can keep doing this. If I start another terminal on Super Return, I get it right below. If I close things out, it goes back to full screen. I can open any other program. For example, on Super T, we have the activity monitor from BTOP. always a favorite when anyone wants to take a picture of their cool Omarchy desktop. It just looks beautiful when you need to see it. What also looks really beautiful in Omarchy is web applications. We have baked a bunch of them in a beautiful frameless way. If you hit Super A, you get an AI. I use GPT-5. If you hit Super W, that's how you close a window. And if I hit Super Shift A, I get Grok. We have a bunch of different web applications. I also have X here on Super X. Always a bit dangerous opening this in the middle of a video. Now that would all save people getting excited about Rails World 2025. Excellent. What I really like is when you combine these two things together. When you have the TUIs and you have the web applications just living side by side with none of the chrome, none of the ugliness. It's just a beautiful way to do computing, because there really aren't a lot of so-called native applications on Omarchy. By far, the majority of things you will do on Omarchy will be done through the terminal. With the TUIs, it'll be done through web applications. But there are all these ways you can start things with the keyboard. I've shown you Super A to start the AI and Super T to start the activity monitor. But if you're starting any other application, you can also hit Super Space and you will get the launcher. There's a bunch of applications built in by default. For example, Basecamp here. We got Brave, which is the new browser I'm trying out. It's not one of the defaults. Maybe it will be one day. There's a calculator here from GNOME. This is actually one of those native applications. I don't totally love it. I think we're going to use a new calculator in a future version, but that's what's here for right. But what's really neat is that the entire system is controlled through the Omarchy menu. You can either get to the Omarchy menu by clicking up the Omarchy icon up here, and you'll see it, or as you'll see if I hover over it on Super Alt Space, you hop into the menu. And from the menu, you can do everything. You can even hop into the launcher as we had on Super Space, or you can start diving into the submenu. And let me show you a few of them. Learn, for example, is where we have everything lined up for you to explore the system, to learn the system, to learn the individual components. If I hit key bindings here, you will see a nice way of just getting a way of seeing all your key bindings. For example, if I forgot how to do that terminal, I can just start writing it. Oh, it's on Super Return. But let's keep going here down through the learning. You also have the Omarchy manual. It's a great place to learn about how to set up the system, how you install the system, how you configure the system. I make quite the effort to ensure that it's always up to date with the latest versions. And if you're feeling more curious about how everything is set up, you can hop back out on the index here with all the manuals for Omacom, and you can read a little bit about the philosophy, the doctrine of how all the Omacom setups and Omarchy is steered from a philosophical perspective. But let's hop back in under Learn and see. You'll also find the Hyperland Wiki, which is a great way of learning how to configure your system, what all the variables and key bindings and whatever else is. You have the Arch Linux wiki as well, which is a treasure trove when you're trying to figure out how to install something, especially on more ancient systems. There's a great guide in there on getting up and going on older MacBooks. And as you can see now, I'm not actually using the arrow keys to go back and forth. I'm just typing. And that is one of these magical things about the Omarchy menu. You just start typing the things you want to learn about. I'm here. I want to check out the LazyVim key map bindings. Okay, that's where I am. I'm going to hit Super W. I close it back out. I can hop back into the menu. It's really fast to do it this way. Now under Capture, you have a few different things for doing screenshots and screen recordings. You can even grab a little color picker here. All of these things are also accessible on key bindings. Super K, you'll see all those key bindings. For example, if we're trying to figure out the different ways we can do screenshots, we can just start typing here and you'll see, oh, Control Print is how I start the screenshot of a whole display, and print alone is just a region. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to hit the print button. I'm going to do a little screenshot here, and you'll see it pops up into this nice little editor where we can draw some errors here and point out that the sun is really the most important thing in this picture. You can either escape out If you want to discard it, or just hit return and it'll save to
editor
your
he's
clipboard. And
I'm curious about that. What is the editor that he's using? Omarchy manual. Omarchy manual. Can I search you for screenshot tool? What is the screenshot tool? What was that? No matches. Shit. Okay, wait. Let's poke around in it first. Welcome to Omarchy. What's the packages that Alacrity? You're gonna make me mess around with Alacrity, aren't you? You're gonna make me install it. You're gonna make me install it. You are Alacrity. There we go. Crosswell GPU here. Put it in here. Oh Christ. All right, here we go. All right, system install. Okay, sweetie. System installed. All right, system installed. There should be an open button that pops up, but maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Boink. Oh no, wrong thing. Boink. Nope. Close that. Okay. Am I here? I need to hit you. I need to get my thingy. Alacrity. Boom. I wanted to play around with you and see what the deal is. We're gonna have to figure you out, my friend. Yes, we are. All right. Okay. Hyperland. It's hey, Typora. He knows about Typora. Right on. Welcome. Navigation, themes, hotkeys. Getting started. Themes. The applications. Yeah. What were you using to edit that screenshot? The applications. Boom. NeoVim. Parmigens Vim as your editor. If you're totally new to Vim, start. Nope. Now NeoVim isn't definitely configurable. Typecraft is setting up NeoVim from scratch, and Parmigen. Now it is basically infinitely configured. But Omarchy ships with a complete NeoVim setup that's been lovingly tuned to showcase the best of what's possible out of the box without you having to write a single line of configuration. It's called LazyVim. And it's a distribution of NeoVim plugins and configurations. It's awesome. See, I've been slowly building mine up. LazyVim basics. Blah, 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 blah. The 3-part syntax. I gotta go check this out. LazyVim Chemex. Starting NeoVim. Blah, 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 blah. Some pseudo edits, blah 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 blah. Shell tools, oxide, right? Okay, I know a lot of everybody else, but this one I don't know about that. That's a whole different bag of cats. I'm used to CD. Shell functions. Okay, format disk. ISO to SD. Right on. Compress image. Blah. Lazy Git, Lazy Docker, BTOP. A beautiful resource manager that shows memory, CPU, also lists active process and allows you to manage them. Has added an app for it called Activity, blah, 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 blah. Impala is a TUI. I know all the Linux, all the server admins, all the Linux heads over at his company. They were just gushing. I know they were exploding when he was like, "Hey guys, I want to do this." send me your suggestions. I know they were losing their minds with happiness. Oh my god. I know I would have been. Okay, fast fetch. Impala is the T-Way mentioned Wi-Fi connections, blah blah blah, B-top, right? Fast fetch. So kernel version, blah 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 blah. Next GUIs, Obsidian. Free extensible note-taking application that uses simple markdown files for storage. That's what he was using. That's what this is most probably. .io, yeah. It offers a commercial add-on for syncing with mobile apps on iOS and Android. What? I can sync with an Android device. Whoa. Commercial. But if you don't need that, it's free for personal use and $50 a year for commercial use. You start using a Penta. This is a basic image. Was he using Penta for that? Is a Penta basic image editing tool that's great for cropping, resizing, and other basic images. Just don't expect a Photoshop alternative, right? That's Krita. You want a Photoshop alternative? Get Krita. But it's still got a magic wand and layers. Your Penta via the application launcher. I wonder if he's using Penta for that. Local send. Local send lets you send files to other devices on the same network, running the app, like Apple's AirDrop. Oh, it's cross-platform, though, so you can send files to and from macros, blah, 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 blah. LibreOffice, Signal, MPV, Media. Oh, MPV is a simple, fast media player that'll play almost anything from any source. Great for. Yeah, I don't know about that. MPV. Yeah, I don't know about that because basically this is probably whatchamacallit with a different skin on it. What's the hat? What's the VLC? This is probably VLC with a skin on it. But interesting. MPV. Let's go back. OBS Studio, of course. Kane Live as a video editor. Perfect for working on video. You can do that in Blender too. Let's see. Commercial GUIs. 1Password. Oh, sweetie, I got a solution for you. Typora. Distraction-free writing tool. Same spirit is IA Writer. Oh, that's that's Typora. Okay. Dropbox. That's commercial. Dropbox still scales a Mesh VPN that makes getting access to all your computers and servers over the internet securely is super simple. Select install device, tail scan. Oh, marquee menu. Spotify. Okay, right. NeoVim, LazyVim, Terminal, Alacrity. Uses Alacrity as its default terminal, but also has full support for both Ghosty and Kitty. Ghosty and Kitty? What the hell is Kitty? Fast feature-rich GPU-based terminal emulator. Okay, that's some new cat I've never heard about. Ghosty? Ghosty is a fast feature-rich cross-terminal emulator. Okay, environment. Meese. It's a tool that lets you install, run multiple versions of the programming language on the same machine. Oh, wait, what's this? Supports setting up a whole host of development environments through the install development section of the marketing menu. You'll of course find Ruby on Rails, of course, but also all three major runtimes for JavaScript, Node. Dino, I know about, but Bun? I think I've heard about that once. As well as popular PHP frameworks like Laravel and Symfony. Thank you! Oh, there's .NET, OCaml, Zig, Elixir 2. It's a very broad section. .NET, interesting. The majority of these environments are managed by Meese. It's a tool that lets you install and run multiple versions of a programming language on the same machine. It's like RBNV or RVM for Ruby or Virtual NV, but it works for a bunch of different environments. To install, say, Ruby, you use Meese, which will both install Ruby. Global default, blah, 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 blah. Docker, GitHub CLI, right? GitHub CLI lets you authenticate with your GitHub account and clone private repositories using it. The authenticate run, then you can check out. You can also perform GitHub CLI. Do I have that? I guess my bag of casting it. Filling out PDFs. Omarchy ships with a nice basic PDF viewer. PDF viewer. Well, no, that's a PDF viewer. Document. No. What is he using to edit screenshots? PDFs. Blah 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 blah. Web apps. Applications. Hey, of course. Basecamp, Chat, GPT, WhatsApp, YouTube, Zoom, and more. What is he using in that spot? All right, I'm gonna drop that right. Drop that out. Come on. What is he using to edit that file and more? Gaming? Just productivity. Steam. Proton capability layer. Steam Deck. Steam. Okay. RetroArch, Minecraft. Okay, yep, good enough. Other packages. Yada 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 yada. Pac-Man, blah 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 blah. Configuration. Files. All right. Let's go back. Whoop. These things, hotkeys, shell tools, MNS2s, GUIs, commercial development tools, web apps, game, other packages. Fonts, monitors, fingerprint authentication, backgrounds, prompt updates, extra themes, making your own theme, manual installation, Mac support, troubleshooting, security. I'm working on. Okay, made with WriteBook. WriteBook. Okay, write a book with WriteBook. Fantastic. Manual. What? WriteBook. Because we made it with WriteBook. That's an idea. WriteBook. Instantly publish your own books on the web for free. No publisher required. Posting on social is easy, but why is it so hard to publish a whole book on the web? Interesting. Okay. Code brother. Code big brother. Code big brother. I'd call him Code big brother. They are actually. I should call him Code big brother. Code big brother. Wait, I'm gonna call him Code big brother. Wait. Hold on. Copy this. Wait. Let's see. Wait. My God. What a trip.
Built on top of Arch Linux and Hyperland, the tiling window manager, to create an absolutely gorgeous and fast system. Primarily for developers or anyone interested in a pro system that takes a little time to learn and to set up, but that will pay dividends in terms of speed of use, in terms of fluidity, in terms of simply enjoying your system like nothing else. I came from the Mac. I've tried to bring over the best of that world, combine it with the best of the Linux world, and come up with just something new that taps into all the exciting stuff that's been going. I'm going to do a little screenshot here, and you'll see it pops up.
I want to know, what is he using to edit his screenshots? Man, what is he using? What are you using to edit your screenshots? Because I've been hunting for something like that for a minute. What is that? That's not Penta, is it? What is that? Penta. Oh, and is Penta in the... Let's see. Hold on. Penta. Yep, there it is. Look at that. Easily create and edit images. Drawing, editing programs. I wonder... Adjustments. What is this? Does it need to be system for me to be able to pick up a screenshot image? No, I don't know. Let's see. Is that Penta? That's what's driving me nuts. Easily edit images. All right, let's keep going. Okay, we got this sucker. Is that sucker in the thing? Okay, fantastic. Now,
up into this nice little editor where we can draw some errors here and point out that the sun is really the most important thing in this picture. You can either escape out if you want to discard it or just hit.
What is he using to edit? Edit that screenshot. At, what's it? 720. What are you using to edit a screenshot at 720? What is that? No? Penta looks like this, right? So, what is this?
Return, and it'll save to your clipboard and to the file system. Well, let's keep going here and jump into toggles, for example. On toggle, you can toggle the screensaver on and off, whether you want that starting after 2.5 minutes of inactivity. You might want to turn that on if you're on a power strain system or if you're running on battery. It is quite the show. I should actually show you the show. Let me show you the show. Let me show you the sizzle here. You can exactly also started by jumping down to the system menu. And now, isn't this pretty cool? These are all these wonderful different effects out of the Python terminal text effects library. We're simply just playing through all of them. I love looking at this kind of setup. It's just running into terminal, and you can stop it at any time on any key, but it is a beautiful addition to the Omarchy setup. But let's keep going through the menu, and I will show you everything else that you can set up. As I said, under toggle, you can toggle on and off the top bar. If you're restrained on vertical space, you can turn on and off the idle log, and there's even a night light to get that nice orange glow if you're sitting in front of your computer in the middle of the night. But let's hop in here under style, and I will show you themes. Themes are super cool but before I do that, let me actually just open a couple of applications. I'm going to open a browser here, and I'm going to open BTOP. And then I'm going to hop back into the style menu under themes, and we're going to change themes to something else. Let's actually take something, one of my favorites here, Osaka Jade, and boom, the whole thing simply changes over. Everything is synced together. If I hop in here, I close this out, and I hop into a terminal, I'll show you NeoVim is also tied into this setup, such that NeoVim is styled with the correct theme that matches that. We're styling the browser. We're doing it live. That actually required a whole micro fork of Chrome to get it done, but we got it done. Everything is tied together such that these themes will just update everything. Now, if I hop back out and I show you the BTOP, you can also jump directly to this menu by pushing Super Control Shift Space, and you will get that, and we can do a light theme, for example, here on Rose Pine. That's kind of neat. You see the backgrounds here, a bunch of different backgrounds. If you hit Control Super Space, you can cycle through them. On most of the themes, we have a handful of backgrounds. Not on all of them. We will soon have that as well. But on some of these themes, look at that Omarchy on the background. Let me hop over on another theme here. We have two of the white ones, or light ones, I should say. Cappuccino Latte. We have some beautiful green ones. Everforest here, for example. Nice moody one. What else do we have? We have a really cool Ristretto brown theme that I really like. Let me actually show you it with the browser here. It's neat to see that just altering at the same time. And really proud of it because it required this micro fork, and that wasn't easy to do, but we have it set up. Nord is also a nice favorite here. It also has a nice alternate background. So that's the themes, but you can change more than just the themes. If we hop back into the menu, we hop down to style, you can also change the font. I have a few extras installed here, but by default, we also installed the JetBrains monofold, for example. It is quite a popular one, as you see. Subtle, but it changed. Now you're into the menu, and this is running the JetBrains font. I actually prefer the Cascadia Mono that I run for everything, so let's hop back to that. But you can hop back and forth between these fonts super easily. You can also style your own screensaver here. If we hop into this and you want to put...
Wait. Wait. Let me log back into LinkedIn on the other screen here. Oh, I love this. I love this. For the culture of gear company to fall apart once the CEO seat is given to someone without an engineering. Oh, interesting. What's he saying? He just posted something on LinkedIn. Oh, this is 2 days. Oh, was it 2 days ago? Is that what that's saying? I don't know. It takes 10 years for the culture of a great company to fall apart once the CEO seat is given to someone without an engineering or product background. Interesting. That's been the story of Boeing, Intel, and now Apple. Legendary American companies that all got lost when a bean counter, marketing man, or logistics hand took over. That's literally what's happening at the company I'm working at right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yep. Yep. Because the division is being led by an MBA. And bless his heart, he's not a technical person. So, yeah. Boeing trouble started when they were taken over by McDonnell Douglas in 1997, but really accelerated after 2005 when they installed their first CEO with no aerospace background. The result after 10 years of cost cutting. Wait. I can actually pop this on here. I don't know. Okay, I can read that. That's fine. Thing. No. We'll put this over there. Wait. Good luck with that. This is bullshit. Boeing started were taken over by McDonnell Douglas, but really accelerated after 35 with their first CEO with no aerospace background, 1997. 2007. The result after 10 years of cost cutting and outsourcing. Oh my God. Was the 737 MAX MCAS tragedies and an organization gutted of ambition and engineering pride. Man, facts. Oh God. Intel did the same thing and almost at the same time in 2005. They too installed their first CEO without an engineering background. 10 years later, they were stumbling with delayed no's, stalled progress, and no answers on mobile. Now the entire business is teetering. God, what is with this font? It's taking I could use a different browser, of course, but the Chrome browser is all of a sudden using a goofy font. And I do not know how to undo that. Let's see. Intel did the same thing at almost the same time. In 2005, they installed their first CEO without an engineering background. 10 years later, they were stumbling with delayed node stall progress and no answer on mobile. Now the entire business is teetering. Finally, Apple. Steve handed the reins to Tim Cook in 2011. But such was the strength of the product pipeline and culture that Jobs left behind that it initially looked like Cook could break that spell. Show that it was possible for a logistics man to steer one of the great ships of American ingenuity and tech supremacy. But now the 10-year curse is hitting Apple. Hang on, can I make this bigger? Maybe that'll make it easier to read with this weird font that's happening. But now the 10-year curse is hitting Apple with an eerily familiar thud. They wasted a decade chasing a self-driving dream without direction and ended up with the worst possible car interface to show for it, the Apple Car. They completely missed the boat on AI and embarrassed themselves with Genmoji and vaporware ads, and the Vision Pro has been an expensive tech demo that nobody actually wanted to wear 3 months after they bought it. Facebook came up with an interesting design for their wearable tech, but it's Facebook, so no. The profits still gush from glorious past and the toll booth operation on the App Store, but the soul has left the machine. While these three stories are different, they are drawn from the same archetype. Great companies need bold hands-on leaders who live and breathe the stuff they make, or they will eat. God. My God. Yes. Oh my God. It's tempting for boards of public companies to think that all care and competence around product can be delegated down the org chart. That someone who can hit the numbers is all you need at the top, but it's not. God, man. Okay, this should be engraved on every business school. It just, oh my God. You need an Andy Grove, Phil Condit, or Scott Forstall. You need someone so professionally invested in the work and the culture that they refuse to let the search for surface level efficiencies drain the foundation of its strength. You need an engineer or a product person as CDO. God bless you. God bless you. Oh. May the gods bless you. God bless you. God bless you. These three stories are different. They're drawn from the center. Great companies need both hands-on leaders who live and breathe the stuff they make. Oh my God. Great God. Great companies live in, or they'll eventually hollow out. Oh. Oh, may the gods bless you. God bless you. This needs to be engraved. God. Oh. Oh my God. Yep. Dear God. Dear God. Engraved on every business. every business, everything, everywhere. Every business, everything, every business school, everywhere. Oh. It's just gods, this needs to be engraved on every business school everywhere. Great companies need both hands on leaders who live and breathe the stuff they make, or they'll eventually hollow out. Oh. THH. Oh, it's just, oh my God. It's everywhere. Oh. Oh my God. Yes. Oh. Well, these gods bless you. Yep. Oh, Jobs was not an engineer. Steve Jobs wasn't an engineer. But you know who was? The co-founder was. His co-founder was. Oh. Oh my God. Oh boy. No, he was a salesman. But you know what? You know what he also did build next, which is very interesting. His point holds. That's a good point, because it was, yeah, because he wasn't. Boy. Switching Google Drive. Waste of time. His point holds. But I think that, hang on, replies. Can I respond? Oh, reply to this guy. Can it be argued? Can it be argued that Jobs listened to his engineers? What's the guy's name? Co-founder. God, I got his face in my eye, in my mind's eye. Oh, just Google it, man. Let's see. Apple co-founders. He actually listened to, thank you, Steve. Listened to his engineer, Steve. Can it be argued that Jobs listened to his engineer, Steve? Who were the next co-founders? Next co-founders. NEXT, yeah. Who were the next co-founders? I didn't know what happened. I don't care about what happened to. Who were the next co-founded by Jobs and several former Apple employees? Joanna, I know that name. Joanna Hoffman. Joanna Hoffman. The company was established. Wait, I know that name. Joanna Hoffman. Joanna Hoffman. Company established. Joanna was she played a significant role in both the original Macintosh team. Later on, next, but she was known for her ability to stand up to Jobs. Yeah, Joanna. American marketing. Joanna Hoffman is an American marketing executive. She was one of the original members of both the Mac team. Next team. Hoffman was born in Poland. Co-founder of engineer. Macintosh, the next team member. Meet John Hoffman if you've headed to the movies. Marketing whiz. She was a marketing person. Who were the engineers on next? Okay, so that's why she stands out to me in my brain, because she was the person that stood up to him. Who were the engineers? And that's significant. Who were the engineers? Co-founder joined Jobs Founding, became an expert in software design and object-oriented programming. Who were the people with Jobs at next to Cube? Let's see. Steve. Was. And the next co-founders. Was the next co-founders. Listen to his engineers. And later, the next co-founders. And later, back at Apple. And later, back at Apple. Traditional business types. Floundered. When traditional, and later back at Apple after traditional biz types took over Apple and it floundered. Can it be argued that Jobs ate his own dog food? Used his own tech. Ate his own dog food. Used his own tech, i.e., that Jobs used his own tech. I.e., ate his own dog food. Ate his own dog food. just wondering. Just hold on, just wondering. Responding to someone's post to DHH. Jobs wasn't an engineer. Yes, but Apple was co-founded by an engineer and a salesperson. Did he pay attention to his engineer, right? When they first began. Did he pay attention to his co-founding team on Next in order to get Next up and running and to be successful while Apple was floundering when Apple decided to go with a more traditional CEO, right? How did that work out? I'm just wondering. Just wondering. Can it be argued? All right. God, it's like, he's right. This part is solid. Great companies need bold, hands-on leaders who live and breathe the stuff they make. That's the key point. Or they'll eventually hollow out. That's the key point. You sitting here retooling this educational system. Did you go through it? Are you able to develop an application? Are you able to think through building out an application using your AI infused 80%, 90% AI infused system? Can you think through a problem? If you can't, then what you're producing, which are the students, not your next contract with a big company someplace to get their employees into your system, but your actual students' ability to write code is what you're producing, the students. If they do not understand this stuff, then you are selling a lie. You're selling a lie. It's all BS. And you are hollowing out what you're selling. Eat your dog food. Actually live and breathe the stuff you are making. Oh my God. Anyway, it's my current frustration. Yeah, we got, okay, let me get this app built. Get through this thing. So, okay. All right, I'm done posting on LinkedIn. Let me get back over to this screen so you can actually see what the heck I'm doing. I want to get through this, but I'm gonna move him a little bit faster because I need to get to coding. Oh, speed. Let's give you a little extra speed. Let's see.
Put in your own ASCII art. If you change this file and you save out, by the way, that is NeoVim, so you're going to use :WQ, that'll save and then quit. You will have the new logo on your own personal screensaver. Isn't that neat? You can actually do the same thing with the About screen. You can change the Omarchy icon here, and if you do, and you hop down to About, you'll see it displayed right here with your own setup. This is one of those things that's really magic about Omarchy. It's really magic about Linux in general, that this is your operating system. All of this is just open source. You can hop in at any time if you want to look around and see how things are done. You can hop to the Omarchy path.
Welcome.
You can start your NeoVim editor, and you can simply just start browsing and look at, oh, I wonder how the screen recording is done, for example. All of this is done in Bash, almost all of it, and it is really easy to look. I would not recommend making changes directly in here in the Omarchy setup, because then you're going to deal with potential conflicts when you upgrade, but you can certainly make all the changes inside of the config area, and we have actually hooked that up really neatly. If you hop back into the Omarchy menu and you hop down to Setup, I'm just going to show you some of these other things, but if you hop down to config, for example, you'll see all the main configuration files are hooked up for you to jump into. These are the ones that live in your own home directory under .config. So if we wanted to change the idle, for example, like how long should it take before the screensaver starts? We could make that 250 seconds instead of 150. I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to quit out. But if you do that from this menu, then the changes will be immediately apparent. So let me actually show you that. I'll hop down to a config. I'll hop down to the way bar. That's that top bar that you see up there. And let's say I don't really want the clock. I don't want the clock in here, so I'm just going to remove that from the module center here, pull that out, and now as soon as I quit, I can do that on space QQ. Boom, the clock is gone. Let's add it back though. I like the clock. So we hop back into the way bar, and I'm just going to hit U here to restore it, and I'm going to quit out again. Now the clock is back. All of these configuration files right there for you to change. But let's keep going through the setup here because there's some curious stuff. We've been trying to lean into the whole TUI aesthetic. So a lot of these things are TUIs. If you hop in under the audio configuration, for example, and you can use tab to jump between the different segments, you can see here I have a cam link attached, I have my Shure microphone, and I can change these back and forth on which is going to be the default. I can hit D here, and the little diamond's going to move. I'm not going to do that because that's going to break everything off. I use my wonderful LXX2 speakers, and I have those set as the default. So that's where you do that. And if you just hit Q, you will quit out. We can also set up our Wi-Fi. I have it set up here. You jump between the different sections on tab, and if you want to select a different Wi-Fi network, you hit space. If you want to turn it off and on, you hit space. And if you're on your station, you can hit S to start scanning for something new. You can also hit question mark, and you can see all the different options that there are. And again, if you hit Q, you quit out. Bluetooth, though, is one of those exceptions. There is a Bluetooth to I'm not quite sure whether I love it. So if you hop into this one, you're actually just going to see a regular old GUI interface. I think this might be the first one I've showed you beside the browser. So those still do exist. It is not like we've ripped out literally everything. You can set up your power profiles. This is not really that relevant on a desktop machine. I'm running my beloved framework desktop here, but if you're on a laptop, you can set it to balance mode, power saver, as you please. Monitors, that's a really good one to take a look at because by default, Omarchy is set up for Retina class displays. So that means the framework desktop display at 2.8K, that means something like a 5K 27-inch or a 6K 32-inch. If you have something else than that, you're probably going to want to change how the monitor setup is because otherwise it's going to be too big. Here's a recommendation for running 4K monitors, or here if you're running a low 1080p or 1440p. You can comment these things out and then comment this in, and you'll see something else and quit out again on Space QQ. When you are changing these Hyperland configs, they also update immediately. That's very nice. And some of these other configs that you can change here is the key bindings, for example. I have all of these set up to the kind of web applications that I use, but if you want to change something else, you just hop in under key bindings here. But let's hop out of that. We're not going to change those changes either. Hop back into setup and input. That's a good one as well. If you want to change, for example, toggling between keyboard layouts, I'm just on the US keyboard layout. But if I was using the Danish one, I'll comment this out. The repeat delay, the touchpad, if you're using that, the scroll factor, all of these things are just stuff you can change. And I would very much encourage you to check out the Hyperland wiki, see how everything is set up. Let's see what else we have on the setup here. Of course, you can also set up a fingerprint scanner or a FIDO key on the framework desktop. For example, there's a fingerprint scanner, and if you set that up, you can unlock after the lock screen, and you can unlock on sudo. It's really nice to do. As I said, all of these different setups of the default config files are in here. On the Xcompose one, that's a good one as well. When you set up Omarchy for the first time, you'll see that it'll ask you for your name, and it'll ask you for your email address, and it's mainly using those to configure Git so that you can make commits, and they show up correctly, but it's also using it to do this. So for example, if I open a super N here, I'm going to get a new LazyVim, and then I hit N again, and I'm going to be in insert mode, and I hit caps lock space N, and it's going to insert my name. And if I do caps lock space E, it's going to insert my email address. So let's do caps lock W and then get that. Now, of course, you also have all of the emojis. That's actually the main reason this is set up. We can hop into the Learn. We can hop in under Omarchy here. See that? Scroll down a little bit and see hotkeys. I'm going to scroll all the way back to the bottom here. You have your quick emojis. So I can do caps lock MS, and I'm going to get a smile. Isn't that lovely? Speaking of emojis, you also have Super Control E, and I'll bring up a complete emoji picker here. I'm going to pick a Danish flag. I'm going to insert that. So let me show you something else. Let me show you how to install extra stuff onto your system. You don't have to install here, and we could just do a package. I just start typing, and you get fuzzy find. You see there's 19,000 packages to choose between, and I find the one I want, and I just hit return, and it's going to ask me for my password here on a sudo, and it'll simply just start installing it. It's going to take a little while. Well, not that long. I'm already done. And now if I do super space and I start typing for Visual Studio Code, I can launch that application right away and everything is set up. Isn't that easy? Isn't that just nice compared to going to some website and downloading something? I really like how this setup works. But you don't even have to use the package installer. By the way, here we have the AUR when they're available. You can also install packages from there. Let's see if we're lucky. Oh yeah, 100,000 packages almost on the AUR. That's pretty incredible. So between the AUR and the main Arch repository and the Omarchy repositories, you really have a lot of packages to install from. But you can install other things too. For example, you can install all these development environments. I've set all of it up such that it is a one-click install. You want Ruby.
One-click install Ruby on Rails environment? Yeah. JavaScript, Go, Python, Rust.
Ruby on Rails, you hit this one, boom. Ruby on Rails gets set up with Mies to install Ruby. We use Gem to install Rails. We have under PHP here, we have Laravel, we have Symfony. You hit escape, by the way, to go back one level. Under Elixir, we even have Phoenix. We have all of these main programming environments. All of them are set up on a one-click to go here. Let's actually install Go, for example. It's going to pull Go down using Mies. It uses Mies for the majority of this, not for all of it. There's a couple of them that have their own individual installers, but Go isn't one of them. It's just going to download it all down, and then boom, we're done. We have Go available in a terminal here. If I type Go, there we go. Go. Hop back in, look at the other things we can install under development here. As I said, we have all these. Oh, JavaScript, of course. Not to forget, we have the three major ones, Node and Bun and Dino. You can install any of the runtimes that you prefer. DockerDB is a fun one too. So if you hop into that, you can install some default setups for running these databases locally, having them available for testing right away. Let's do space here on MySQL, and let's also do Redis, and then I hit return. I'm going to install those. They're just going to pull it down. We already have Docker on the system, and actually here I'm cheating because I already had these set up. I should have deleted those images. But let's actually see those set up. On Super D, you're going to jump into Lazy Docker, and and you can see that even though the images were installed, we have now started the 2 Docker images that I picked, the one for Redis, the one for MySQL. You can stop it on S. Yes, I want to stop it. You can then delete it on B, including the volumes, and now it's gone from your system. We're going to stop that one as well, and we can delete that one too. Great. I quit out again on that, super W, and editor. You see how I just installed VS Code? You can actually also install VS Code right here. You don't even have to know the name of the package and fussy find that. Actually, let me just show you that. So if I jump back here and go down to remove, I go down to package. I have all the packages I've installed, 200 on the system right now. That's a bit more than we installed by default. I've installed a little extra. But if I find Visual Studio Code here and say, I don't want it, I just hit return, I enter my password, and boom, that is now gone. If I go search for it, no, there's no Visual Code. Let me add it back, install, editor, VS Code, enter my password. And when you install it this way, we have this nice little extra that'll start the editor for you. Isn't that lovely? And again, if you don't want it, you go down to remove, down to package, Visual Studio. You see, it's just a package that's installed for you. We can remove that from the system right away, and away it goes. As you can see in here under editor, we actually have quite a few different ones. We have cursor, that's on the AUR. We have Z, Sublime Text, and Helix. Let's actually try Z here. I've heard a lot of good things about that as well. I am a NeoVim stand. That is the default in Omarchy. But if you install Z, right here it is. And again, if that is not something that you want, you just remove it. It makes it super easy to try new packages out and be able to cleanly remove them from your system. We have more, though. We also have a bunch of AI tooling. We could install LM Studio, for example. I've tagged the ones that are on the AUR, since the AUR sometimes have a little bit of problems with some deduzzing. But if we install LM Studio here, oh, my fat fingers on the password weren't quite right. It's going to pull it down, and you can see this is actually an app image that's set up inside of another package, and now I can hit LM Studio. It takes a second to start up, just note that, but not that much of a second, and I am here on a system I actually already had a setup on the system, so it found the config files that I already have. Let's see if it knows about Omarchy. I don't think it will, because, we're just going to use the last year's model. I was testing GPT OSS 20 billion model, or 20 billion parameter model here. Let's see if that works. What is Omarchy? Does it know? It's going to boot it up. It's going to process the prompt, and we hopefully will get an answer. It's a political theory. Oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. This is actually wonderful. That is kind of fun. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't know what Omarchy is because Omarchy is new. Nothing that's either, what is it, older than 15 years or newer than 2 years or 3 years are these things going to know of their existence, because it hasn't been added to this most recent model. Maybe in version 5.2 or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, of course, this is not searching on the internet like AI would do. If we ask a live model here, what is Omarchy? Let's see where ChatGPT has to say. Oh, it is up to date. It is.
Omarchy is your own Arch-based Linux distribution. Wait, your own? It understands who this is asking. Question. A custom system you've been building that combines the raw power of Arch Linux with strong focus on defaults, taste, and developer-friendly tooling. From what you shared, it's what you shared, because you've typed stuff in here. It's aware of what you've been asking it. So if I asked, what is Omarchy, would it be aware of that? Is this localized to him? Interesting.
Your own Arch-based Linux distribution, core identity, opinionated Linux. Yes, very nice here. Let me tell you what else you can install under AI. You can install Gemini and Claude, for example. Let's do Gemini here. Do I have that on the system already? I might already have it on the system. Or maybe I didn't. And we hop in here and we start Gemini in a browser. And boom, we're ready to go. As you can see here, the whole experience of installing something new on the system is incredibly quick because everything is just running off these packages. We've tied everything into one unified menu. That menu, by the way, even has gaming. You can game on Linux. You can game with Steam. You can game with RetroArch. You can game with Minecraft by default. And of course, again, you can install any package you want. So if there's something you don't find set up here in the defaults, just install that. If you go under Style, you can even install new themes. We can hop in here and see if I start a browser here, all the extra themes. Let's move this window out of the way, by the way. We can do that in two ways. I can hold down super and then click and just drag, or I can hold down super and hit W. That'll take it in and out of this floating mode. That's quite nice. Let's scroll down and find one of the extra themes that someone has made. This Mars one looks interesting. Let's have a look at that, and we're going to copy the URL setup here, paste that in. Remember, when you paste into a terminal, that is on Control-Shift-V, not just Control-V, because Linux terminals use that as control key. So if you're coming over from the Mac, that is going to frustrate you for some time. But it's going to clone this down, and voila, right away, everything is simply set up and tied to that theme. And if I remove that, we have a nice picture of Mars. Let's go to Mars. Now, if I didn't want that, I can hop back into the Omarchy menu. I can go down to remove. I can go down to theme, and you see all the extra themes, not the default themes, but the extra themes. If I remove that, boom, it removes it and just jumps to the next theme. I think this is the matte theme we have. Let's hop back into style, theme, and pick something else. Let's just jump back to Tokyo Night. That's the default. It looks wonderful. What else can you install under style? You can install your own backgrounds. So if I open this, for example, I will see all the default background images. And if I open another file manager, I can go find my own image, throw that right in there next to the other backgrounds. And once it's in there, I can hit Control Super Space, and I will simply be cycling through all the backgrounds that are in that folder. Under Style 2, you can install different fonts. I have actually hooked up some of the common fonts that require a package to install. The Fire Code font, if we install that, it's going to pull down the package, and it's also then going to set the font. We already had it. Boom, it has set it, and you see it changes it up here in the Waybar, it changes it in the terminal, it changes anytime you use a monofont. But again, as I said, I really like looking at my Cascadia monofont, so we're going to hop back to that. I think that was everything under style, wasn't it? Yep, one back out. Now, one that's really neat here is that all of these web apps that you have, you can just add your own. We built the entire system in here, and if you start it like this, and we do DHH's blog here to add a new one, and we're going to add my personal blog here on Hey World. And then we need an icon. Now I'm suggesting dashboard icons here. That's perhaps not the one you want to use for my blog. I don't have a dashboard icon here for us to look at, but if you were finding Blogger, for example, let's say I was hosting it on that, you could probably find that. Yep, you could. This is some vintage stuff right here. You go down and copy the PNG URL, and again, you need to use Control-Shift-V to paste it in. Now it has set up the blog, and you can find it on Superspace, so let's try to do that. Superspace, DHH. Voila, there's my blog. And again, this is your own application. You can make that whatever you want. You can put in whatever icon you want. It lives right next to the system web apps that we have set up. Isn't that just lovely? There's no discrimination here. Your web application is going to look as good as any other. Hop back in under this, and you can do the same thing with TUIs. You can set up any TUI that you would like to use here. We could do another one for Lazy Docker. Let's just imagine that we didn't have that. Lazy Docker. We can pick whether we want it to float or to tile. You see, this window right here is floating, but if you just wanted to tile, to the side, you pick that. And again, we're going to pick a...
All right, I'm done. I got to get back to actually programming my stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to leave the rest of that for future excitement. But nice. Oh, nice. All right, boink. Omarchy, thank you. Now, LazyVim. Oh my God. I really wanted him to get into LazyVim more and talk about LazyVim. I wonder. Let's see, now I gotta. Now I'm wondering, is he gonna get into that? Maybe he's gonna get into that. Let's hang on. I don't care about any of this other stuff except for LazyVim history. Come here, LazyVim. Come here. Hit me this.
Pick a dashboard icon and
do some LazyVim.
I'm gonna make this
stuff.
one tile for a second. We're gonna find one for Docker here. We're gonna pick the Docker one and paste it in. And now I can find LCD that I had set up on my unique Docker icon, and there we go. Now, if you hop in an update here, this is where you will be updating Omarchy when there's a new release coming out. When there is a new release coming out, there'll also be a little icon up here next to the clock, and you can just hit that, and it'll jump straight into the update process. But let's just run with scissors. Let's just live update Omarchy right here. You can see Omarchy is already up to date. But when we do this, it also wants to update the system packages. Learn about those if you're hopping under the Omarchy menu, in under Learn, in under Omarchy, and you can go down here and check out what is there. We have Obsidian, for example. I use that to keep all my nodes. You have Pinta, and if you find an app like, oh, I want to check out what Pinta is, you can just launch it here. Quick drawing app. We have Local Send. That's a replacement for AirDrop. It is really neat. Start Local Send here, and if I have any devices, I can quickly send to them. I can pick a file, a folder, text, or paste, or whatever. You can install clients on Android or on iOS. You have LibreOffice for those times when you need to open a Word document or Excel spreadsheet, or you want to just do some spreadsheeting or writing in that style. We have Signal. We have MPV for playing videos. You have Op Studio. That's what I record this on, and Kden Live. That's what I edit these kind of videos on. And as I said, you also have some commercial GUIs installed by default. You have 1Password. That's what I use for all my passwords. Topora, which is a really neat writing tool that I use for all of my essays. Let me just show you that real quick. Topora here. What I really love is you see it like this. It looks nice. Then you hit F11, and now it's just writing bliss. There's literally nothing else on the screen here. Do I hit F11 again? I can jump out of that. So that's the basic of Omarchy. It is a beautifully, fully set up system ready for anyone to do production development work with everything you need from your editor to your AI to your development environment with all the configurations set up and done for you while leaving you free to change whatever you want to change. This is your system. This is not Mac OS. You don't have to beg Apple for something. This is not Windows. You don't have to beg Microsoft for anything. This is Linux. You get to change whatever you want to change. Now, let me show you how to actually install Omarchy. Omarchy now comes on an ISO. I'm going to show you here in a VM how to set that up. You download the ISO from the website. You get it onto a USB key. and you plug it into your computer, make sure that secure boot is turned off, and then you simply boot from it. And it'll automatically hop into the Omarchy installer. That'll first detect your network, and you'll answer a few questions. It'll answer your username here, minus DHH. It'll ask for a password. If you enter that password wrong, of course, you'll be let know that those don't match, and that they have to match. And then you can enter your full name here if you want the GitHub setup. I like to have that set up, and then, of course, you also get those autocomplete keys. I enter my email address, and then a host name for the machine. If you want to use that, you can just hit return. It's going to be called Omarchy. Now you can filter down your time zone and enter your keyboard, and if everything looks correct, you can say, yes, I want to proceed. Now you get to pick where you install this. And it's really important that you pick a drive that is free. Omarchy takes over an entire drive. There's no dual booting on a single drive. You can, of course, dual boot if you have 2 NVMe slots in your machine, but otherwise, make sure you pick the right one. Make sure you have a back.
Nope, he's not talking about this. So let me here. I want to listen to you talk about this real quick because I'm curious about this.
In this video, we'll be looking at the LazyVim setup for NeoVim, powered by lazy.nvim, which is a modern plugin manager. LazyVim is a great way to get started with an IDE-like environment, and it also has great ways to extend and modify how it's configured. LazyVim also has its own documentation site, which is a nice addition to its GitHub repo. So let's begin. We'll go to the installation section of the site, and first we'll back up our current NeoVim setup, in case we want to revert back later. And then we'll clone the LazyVim starter repo to our local machine. And then we'll remove the .git folder so you can add it to your own repo later. Okay, so now you should be able to start NeoVim and watch the magic happen. The lazy.nvim experience is very nice and interactive, especially in this case where you're setting up an environment for the first time. And by the end, you have your new LazyVim version of NeoVim all set up. It's a good idea at this point to run the check health command to verify everything is okay. So I'm a bit zoomed in for this recording, but if I zoom out a little, you'll see something more like what you would see. A dashboard for quick actions you might want when you first open NeoVim. Okay, let's quit and switch to the folder where our new LazyVim configuration lives, and relaunch NeoVim. A good thing to know about LazyVim is that it comes pre-installed with which key. This plugin allows you to hit the leader key, space by default, and it'll show a list of key maps for you to explore. This is handy, especially when the key maps might be new to you, or you infrequently use some of them. So in our case, let's type E, which will open Neotree at our root directory, and let's navigate to the Lua config folder and open up the lazy.lua file. Then we'll toggle Neotree off with leader E again. Since we typed the key map quickly, the which key overlap doesn't appear, which is a nice touch. You'll notice that several plugins and language servers aren't installed until they're needed, which is great for initial performance. Let's open up Mason, which is a way to manage language servers, linters, formatters, and more with leader CM. So the installed language servers does not include TypeScript, which is something that I regularly use. I could install it using Mason, but there are other settings I would need to manually set up. Thankfully, however, LazyVim has a few modules already coded that include the TypeScript settings already wired up for us. So let's uncomment lines 14 through 16 to include TypeScript and JSON support, along with the mini animate plugin, which I'll show you what that does later. And we'll save our changes and quit NeoVim. Now let's switch back to our previous TypeScript project with cd-, and then start NeoVim. On launch, you'll see that lazy.nvim is installing some plugins that were required by the lines we uncommented earlier. Alright, now let's start to navigate our TypeScript project. We'll type space, our leader key, to engage which key, then F to find, and then F again to find files. This launches the Telescope plugin that will search for files known by Git. Normally you'd see a preview of these files, so let me zoom out just a tad, and as I search you can see a preview of the selected file on the right. Let's open the page.tsx file. LazyVim comes pre-configured with the leap.nvim plugin to allow you to easily jump to any location, which is what I'm using here to jump directly to the first styles reference. You might have noticed the cursor animating to the location. Well, that was the mini.animate plugin that we enabled earlier. Since we installed the TypeScript language server, we can now leverage LSP features such as rename. Here we'll rename styles to CSS, and the LSP will intelligently rename the variables as needed. If you press a capital K, it'll show hover documentation showing type information. Let's search for a string across our project. We'll hit leader and then S for search and G for grep from our root directory. And we'll search for John. As before, I'm a bit zoomed in here, so let's zoom out for a more realistic view. Here on the right, you can see a preview of the search results for match. And let's go to that file. Here we can see some inline linting information coming from the TypeScript LSP. Here we could use the trouble plugin by pressing leader XX to view diagnostics. Then you could jump directly to the issue, and we'll close that panel. And then we can launch some code actions via the TypeScript LSP by pressing leader CA. In this case, we'll just prefix the REQ variable with an underscore to ignore the warning. If you'd like to change your color scheme, then you could press leader U capital C. And we'll switch to Elf Lord. Then we'll change it back to Tokyo Night. Once you have more than one buffer open, you can toggle between them by pressing leader FB, and Telescope will open with existing buffers, and we'll pick page TSX. You can also use the right bracket B to go to the next buffer, and the left bracket B to go to the previous buffer. And you can always use the mouse to click the tabs at the top of the window. There are other ways too, but those are the ones I primarily use. Okay, now let's switch to splits. You can create a vertical split by pressing leader pipe, and create a horizontal split by pressing leader dash. And then you can navigate to the left split with Control H, to the right split with Control L, down a split with Control J, and up a split with Control K. And you can adjust the size of the split with Control up, Control down, Control right, and Control left. Okay, let's close the splits and move along to help. You can bring up a huge list of help pages to search by pressing leader SH. Let's search for to-do, and see its help page. This help page is about a to-do plugin that LazyVim has installed. Let's exit this help page and take a look. Above our home function, let's add a to-do comment saying, do this or that. Already you can see visually that the to-do comment looks special. Let's switch to the next buffer before pressing leader ST to search for to-dos. And you'll see the to-do from the other file. If you press enter, it'll switch us back over to that buffer to the correct line. Another piece of functionality that you would probably expect from an IDE is autocompletion. Well, LazyVim wires that all up for you as well. If we start typing func, you'll see a list of autocompletions, and one of them is a snippet. So we'll Control N down to the option and hit enter. Then we can fill in the stops along the way. We'll call this say hello, then tab, and change params to message, then tab and make the type a string, and then tab into the body of the function. Now we can type the code of our function. We'll just console.log and print out hello and the message passed to the function, with autocompletes showing up along the way. Then when we use our new function, say hello, we also get autocomplete help and type information to help us again. And here we'll say world. Sometimes you know there's a key map that you want, and which key may just not be cutting it. In that case, you could press leader SK to search key maps. Here we'll type lazy, and you can see that there's a key map for leader L to launch lazy. In this case, I could just hit enter since I have it selected, which will bring up the lazy.nvim UI. Here, you might want to sync up your plugins with capital S, which installs, cleans, and updates all of your plugins. In this case, we have a few updates, LazyVim itself, and the indent blank line plugin. You can also press capital P to look at the profile of our plugins. It looks like our total startup time is about 50 milliseconds. You can filter down the list with Control F, and only show plugins that are slower than some threshold. We'll enter 10 milliseconds, and here are those plugins. Okay, let's exit and move along. There are several settings that you can toggle on and off. For example, pressing leader UL toggles the UI line numbers off and on. There are several other UI toggles that you can explore yourself. Let's go over to the CSS module and do some global search replace. Here we're going to leverage the Spectre plugin by pressing leader SR to search and replace. Here we'll replace description with the term summary, which has 17 matches, and we'll limit the path to files that end with TSX or CSS, which reduces our matches down to 11. We can view additional help in Spectre by typing the question mark. And let's move this over a little to give some room. And we'll type leader RC to replace the current item. However, I don't want to change the meta tag, so I'll press DD on this line to delete the current item, which means I can replace the rest of the items with leader capital R. Now let's see where we're at and use LazyGit by pressing leader GG. This view is a bit cramped since I'm zoomed in so far for this video, so I'll zoom out slightly, and I'll zoom back. From LazyGit, you can review your work, stage files, commit your work, and so much more. I'm a big fan of LazyGit, so it's a nice feature to be able to launch it directly from NeoVim. Another handy key map is to be able to quickly spin up a temporary terminal by pressing leader FT from your root directory. Here I'll just run npm run, which will show a list of available npm scripts that I can run, and I'll just exit when I'm done. Alright, let's quit our TypeScript project for now and transition to extending LazyVim from our initial setup. But before we do, how about subscribing to this channel and liking the video? The stats show that most who watch my videos are not subscribers, but you can change that. Oh, and it'd be nice if you could comment about something you'd like me to cover in future videos. Okay, enough of that. Let's switch back to the NeoVim config directory with cd-, and we'll start adding, editing, and disabling stuff from the base LazyVim config. And let's launch NeoVim and get into it. We'll open up Neotree and navigate to the Lua config folder and open the options.lua file. This is where you can add your own custom options for NeoVim. You can always reference the documentation on what options LazyVim already provides. In our case, let's set the WinBar for NeoVim, which is content that is displayed at the top of every window, where equals represents a separation point for alignment, M is a modifier flag of the buffer, and F is the path to the file in the buffer. So let's save our file and source it. And now you can see the WinBar in the upper right of the buffer. This might not be super helpful right now, but if you have multiple splits, it can come in more handy. Speaking of splits, let's make a vertical split and open the keymaps.lua file. Here we'll add a new keymap for normal mode, and we'll use the leader.sx keymap that will resume the last telescope picker that happened to be open previously. And we'll make this not recursive and silent. Okay, we'll save this, which will be auto-formatted. Now let's source this file and test it. If we press leader to kick in which key, we can see S to search, but then for the X, there's an empty spot. So we registered the keymap, it works just fine, but I didn't provide a description. So let's go back and do that. We'll go to the last argument and add a new DESC description entry to the Lua table, and we'll call it resume. Okay, so we'll save again, which formats the file, then we'll source the file again, and if we type leader S, we'll now see our new X with a resume next to it. And sure enough, it still brings up the last telescope picker. There's also an autocommands.lua file where you can register any specific autocommands that you want, but we'll move on to another topic. Instead, let's open up the example.lua file from the plugins folder. This file has a lot of handy examples that you can pull from. None of them are executed because it returns an empty Lua table at the beginning of the file. So now I'd like to show you how to modify the default color scheme of LazyVim. Let's come down to line 11 and we'll grab until line 21. We'll yank those lines to use in just a little bit. Over in Neotree, you can press the question mark to get a helpful list of commands. On the plugins folder, we'll press A to add a new file called groovebox.lua. In this file, we'll return a Lua table and paste the lines that we just yanked. The Lua table on line 2 registers the groovebox theme, and the other Lua table updates the definition of LazyVim and adjusts the color scheme option to groovebox instead of the default Tokyo Night. Once we save this file, LazyVim is already aware that it's special. If we open up Lazy, you'll see that it's aware that we want groovebox, but it hasn't been installed yet. And we can press capital I to install the new theme. Now let's quit and restart NeoVim to see the difference. And sure enough, this is the groovebox theme. Okay, let's try something else. We'll add a new piece of functionality to Telescope. We'll add a file browser picker. So let's add a file-browser.lua file to the plugins folder. And here we'll paste in a snippet that defines the plugin, which is an extension for Telescope. Then we can actually define plugin-specific keymapps in the same file under the keys entry. Here we're saying leader S capital B will invoke Telescope using the file browser extension and using the path of the current buffer. And we'll provide a description so that which key works well too. Then we'll register the extension after the plugin loads. So let's save the file. Then we'll open Lazy, and we can see that the plugin isn't installed yet. And you can also see that it recognizes our custom keymap, leader S capital B. We'll go ahead and install it with capital I, and quit NeoVim, and restart. And here I'll press leader, then S, then capital B, and voila, there's our Telescope file browser, where we can navigate down into folders and back up. Okay, next let's change this dashboard LazyVim with something a little more custom. For this, we'll create a new file in the plugins folder called alpha.lua. And here I'll paste in a bit of code. So on line 2, we're referencing the existing plugin that LazyVim is already using. The ops function allows us to take the existing options that were defined elsewhere and to tweak them for our purposes. So I'm taking the section header value from the options and setting it to a banner that says NeoVim with my Twitter handle underneath. So we'll save this file, quit NeoVim and relaunch, and hey, a customized dashboard. Okay, so we showed how to get started, how to add your own settings, and how to modify existing settings. Before we conclude, let's show how to disable some features that you may not want from the base LazyVim configuration. For this, we'll add yet another file to the plugins folder called disable.lua. In this file, let's return a Lua table with an entry that disables the Spectre plugin. Maybe you don't like this plugin, and you'd rather use Telescope, quick fix lists, and CDO updates instead. So let's save this file, quit NeoVim, and relaunch. Now when we launch which key and go into S for search, you will no longer see the R key registered for the Spectre plugin because it was disabled. I know I showed a lot during this video and it was a bit of a whirlwind, but I hope that you learned something interesting. Believe it or not, there's a whole lot more LazyVim provides that I didn't even show. I highly recommend that you check out the documentation. There's some great stuff in there. And until next time, keep...
All right, interesting. All right, so, yep, we've checked that out. Let's close that puppy. I might have to get into this later on for sure, but not on this machine. I'm going to put that on the second machine. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get back to this. Let's turn on this. And let's let's get ready to rumble. But not on this one. We're gonna stop this stream because God, that took forever. I'm gonna restart another one. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna stop this. We're gonna name this "Learning About Omarchy and LazyVim" because that was hilarious. Nope. We're going to edit that. This is going to be renamed. Edit, unpublished. No, baby. I need the name. Come here. Broadcast. It's not broadcasting. We stopped. We ended the signal. Stop streaming. Wait, are we still streaming?